hang on. You have to say hello first.
Hello. Thank you so much for coming. This is really cool. And I'd also, and I will probably express my gratitude liberally throughout the day, I'd really like to thank Chapters for having us here today. They've just been awesome people. And look like, at first glance, look like an awesome bookstore. So thank you, Chapters. That's awesome. So the main thing that this day is sort of centering around is this book that Neil and I did together, and which doesn't exist yet because it's just gone to the printer. And it would have been really great if we had come here and read these stories and then could actually sell you a copy of the book and sign it, but we can't. We're shit out of luck again. But we do have somewhere near the signing table is going to be Max, and he's going to have, I have some t-shirts left over from last night, which I'm trying desperately to get rid of, so they're going to be very cheap, and hopefully they'll disappear quickly. And there will also be a list, a list for your email, and that will put you on the list, and as soon as the book is ready for pre-ordering, which is going to be really soon, it's going to be like, hopefully within the next 3 weeks or 4 weeks, you'll get an email, and we're only printing 10,000 copies of the book, which might seem like a lot, but I think, especially now that Neil is, so famous and everything, because all these great things are happening to him, they might disappear really quickly. So I would urge you to pre-order it so that you can make sure you get a copy, and I would urge you to sign that list. And what we did is the book is, if you don't know anything about the book, it's called Who Killed Amanda Palmer, and it was meant originally to be a kind of extension of this record that I put out in September. And the whole reason that it started in the first place is that my record label gave me a packaging budget of a few $dozen, which meant that I couldn't put a whole bunch of pictures in the album artwork, so I decided to just put out a book that would be mine and that I would own, and that would sort of be the album artwork. And that's what the idea started out as. It was going to be really simple, and then Neil got involved, and we started taking these photographs and writing these stories, and I started collecting photographs from all over the place, some taken by me, some taken by other people, but the one thing they all have in common is that they are pictures of my corpse in some situation or another. And in some cases, Neil was inspired by a photograph that already existed, and he wrote a story around it. As you'll see, one of them is really old. It's from when I'm 18. And some of them kind of works the other way, where Neil and I sat down with this great photographer named Kyle Cassidy, and we sort of imagined something into being with the story and the photograph in mind. And so what we did for today is we just printed out, as large as we could, some of the photographs, which I will, like Vanna White style, display to you in some kind of creative way while Neil reads the corresponding story. Does that sound like a plan? That's a fucking plan. So, without further ado, we will commence with our plan, and Neil will read the first story from the book, with a photograph that you will probably recognize because it is the cover of the record, except my head's in it.